So, today's video is something a bit different. We're rescaping the Guppy tank, and you guys may know, this isn't the Guppy tank, this is my big Fluval Roma 125, and it is a good tank. I really enjoy the fish inside of it, but before we get started, there's one thing I must do. There we are then. It is all done. I've removed the black background I made, and the background I made for this I was quite happy with. It looks really good. It made everything just look a bit nicer, but I think it made the shark stain inside a bit more in the cover, which is a bit of a shame, because I really want him to come out. So, that's that done. We're going to go upstairs to the Guppy tank now, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So there we are then, the Guppy tank, and it is a mess. Don't get me wrong, it is a mess. It's because all the glass is covered in algae, and it literally does this in a week, which is crazy to think. And the evaporation is not that extreme every week, but I don't end up filling it to the top, because then it overdoes it really. But you know, it is what it is. We're going to top it up to the top today. We're going to take out some more dill water chairs, that sort of thing. Gravel back the substrate, because that is crazy how dirty that thing gets, and I can't seem to clean it quick enough really. But the plan for this tank is, as you can see, there's all these guppies. It'll be easy once we clean the glass. Actually, hang on, let's just clean the glass quickly. So there we are then, the glass is cleaned up. It doesn't make too much of a difference because the water is quite green as well. This tank has basically been, I've been cleaning it every week, but I haven't been doing as good of a job as I really could have been. I've been kind of lackluster on this tank a bit, but we know which fish I'm going to keep in this one. So the plan is, right, so the original male guppy I got was this one back here. I was talking about this in the previous video, by the way. Well, let's see. So the original male looked something very, very similar to that male there, and these guppies are basically the babies of all the ones that are downstairs, basically. So they were all in here originally, and then they all went downstairs, and then they left a load of babies in here, which these are those babies. And then there's also babies downstairs from the fish that are downstairs at the moment. But we've got some cool males that I really wanted to like breed out their traits, because obviously they all were meant to look like the male, but they all look ever so slightly different. And this is the one here I'm trying to breed out, because I know it's an Endler guppy and it's meant to have like the scissor tail sort of thing, like this male here, with like the two stripes of colour at the bottom and the top of the tail. But that one has like a yellowy sort of pattern. The others have like faintish sort of thing. But that one has a really yellow sort of tail, which I really want to try and breed out and see if I can get that in an Endler guppy, because it looks really, really cool. So I'm going to pick 3 females as well to stay in here. There's 1 or 2 that have some colour in their tail, and that's something that I'm going to keep. And the others are all just going to go downstairs with the other fish, and I'll show you the other male downstairs that I would like to do this to in the future, but I can't do right now because obviously one tank for that job. Here we are then with the big tank, and I'll tell you about all these guppies. So these are most of the guppies. These are like the huge amount of them, which is crazy. And then there's a few babies up there, but most of the babies sort of chill there. There's babies down there. There's big babies that chill at the back. There's one. So there's a lot of baby guppies in here. They're getting quite big. But so if we look at the males, for example, there's these 2 here. That one's like most likely the best one, like similar to what the male was originally. But we have ones like this one here, and where's the other one? That one there. They have like really long tails, which are kind of looks quite cool in the Endler guppy. So I want to kind of line breed that so you can get the whole tail looking like that, which would be really cool. But we need to, well, we have 1 tank, so I could basically sell all the excess guppies and keep, so just those specific ones in here, which could be quite interesting, but we'll wait a bit so we get a bit more money for the guppies when they're a bit bigger and we have more to sell on them. We can get something cool for the tank upstairs to go with those guppies. But like, here are some of the babies, and there's just loads of them, and they're really cool watching them all swim around. And then obviously we've got the Romanose Tetra. I didn't show these in the video when we actually got them, but they're really cool. Well, obviously, the black neons, we've got the corridors down there constantly spawning. Look, there's more eggs up there. There's loads of eggs up there that I just have left alone. I've just let everybody eat from the snails and stuff. But, oh, especially the pleco. But there was eggs all up here. Look, there's eggs all over the plants there. There's eggs all over the glass here. It's all a bit crazy, so I've kind of left them to it. We're going to go back upstairs and I'm going to talk you through what I've got to do. So the plan for this tank is we're going to start by doing a water change to about there. We're going to take out the water lower to about there, and then going to suck up as much of this gunk as we can at the moment. So basically we do have some cherry shrimp in here, but they obviously, I don't think there's enough. I think there's only 1 left, which is a real shame actually. But it's like the best one, so not the end of the world, but it would be useful if we had more. It's mostly poo from all these snails that are just there, so we need to kind of get something to eat those up. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to drop it down. We're going to set up our scape with some, we've got some spiderwood, a few rocks, some fake plants, that sort of thing to get going. And we also need to swap the filter. So you can see at the back here, go around to the side, the filter that's the classic one that comes with this. It's the Aqua Ledy 40 tank, and that's the filter that came with it. It was a good filter, and then it's kind of just, it's still on, but you can kind of see there isn't much flow going on up there. So I've basically got a new filter to replace it, which hopefully clean this all up a bit more, and then we're going to move the guppies downstairs that we don't want in here. Yes. Oh, actually no, I think we'll drop the water up and then move the guppies just to stop the hassle of trying to catch them all up, I think. But we'll have a look through, see what we've got. We might move that male from downstairs up here as well and have just a big breeding group, but I don't know. Just originally, I think we might just stick with the yellow guy to start with. So the tank has been drained a lot. We've churned it up completely. It's still quite dirty water. We've moved most of the solid debris. This is just a bit of water from the tank to put the guppies in. Yes, there is a bit of dirt and gravel and stuff at the bottom, but this won't be going in the tank downstairs. We're just going to put the fish in here and whack them downstairs straight away, and tip this outside. This is all just algae at the bottom. Most of it was algae, to be honest. It's just like solid algae that's been growing on the bottom that's just left in there. So it's not like waste or anything. So the water's like clean and stuff, but it's just full of algae, because it's like literally the light is really bright and straight opposite the outside, which is not recommended for a fish tank, but it is what it is. But I did say there was guppies in here, and there's the only one I've seen. That one, a little fella right there in the corner. So I noticed him a few days ago. He's been doing well. He's still there. So, oh, and this is the filter we're replacing the that one at the back there with. It seems pretty good. I wanted to try it 4 separate things. You can pause it if you wanted to see what it said. There you go. But it seems quite good, so I'm going to give it a whirl. Hopefully it should be better than that one. So we're going to move the guppies downstairs. Going to leave the one with the yellow tail, that male, and then 3 females up here. And apart from that, everything else is going downstairs. So these are all the guppies in the tank upstairs. They're just a bit spooked by this, but so these are all the guppies. We're going to go through, pick out the male, which is that one there, and the best 2 females to stay up here while the others all go downstairs. But it's quite good, really. There's only 4 males and quite a lot of females, which would be good because we've got a lot of males and not many females downstairs. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to pick out probably that female, that male, and then 2 more. So probably that one down there and maybe that one there. And then that one's obviously full of babies, but she can go downstairs and have her babies downstairs. So I'm going to pull those out, and then we're going to take these downstairs and release them in the big tank. And then here are the guppies that are going. Most of these will be, I think, eventually going to the fish store anyway, but they're all going in the big tank. So we're going to net them up and put them in. So there we are then, the extra guppies are added. There's one of them, looks quite cool. And all the others are obviously just going to swim off and hide and things, but a lot of them are there. That one's not doing too well, that guppy, so she might end up going soon, but she's been like that for a while. I've watched her eat, but she's not doing too well. But they've all been added, they've probably gone off and hidden, but now I'm going to go upstairs and rescape the tank. So we've got our filter all ready and set up. We just need to slide that on the back like that once it's stuck to the glass where that one is. I'm going to unplug that, put it, well, out of the way, we don't need it anymore. I'm going to put this one in the tank, then it should be all set up ready and going, and then we'll start scaping the tank. Doesn't look like much, but once we have the new filter on, I think we might fill it up before we start scaping, just because it will make it a bit clearer, easier to see, that sort of thing, because it does look a bit grim at the moment. But all the guppies are in here that we want to keep on. And yes, scaping materials to start with. We've got some plants as well to go in. So let's get on with the scaping. So we've filled it up a bit more. We're going to put in a little bit more, maybe that sort of amount. But the bad news is the wood has decided it wants to be floating wood and hasn't been soaked for long enough, I'm guessing. It's been soaked for a while, but it's still a bit floaty, that piece. Especially, well, that one's sunk, but that one's still a bit floaty. So that's not the end of the world, because this, we've got it to work. There's a bit of a plant stuck under there, but we're going to fill up more, obviously. So that's under the water, but here we go. Moment of truth. Oh, yeah. Does it give us, like, a good flow, like, actual good flow? Because, look, it's moving. Oh, geez, yeah, that's good flow. So that wood should eventually sink. I have seen the guppies chilling around there. Oh, yes, that's amazing, actually. There's a lot of flow. That gets all the dirt moving. You could probably adjust it. I'm going to have a look if I can, because it's a bit strong. There's the baby guppy getting blown away. Jeez. But yeah, let's get the lid on and have a look with the light, see how extreme this is. There we are then, without the light, we're going to whack the light on now. And Clink. There we go. Got our shrimp down there. Got one piece of wood that's slightly sunk. The other one hasn't at all. But this should clean up fairly quickly, I would have thought, now with the new filter collecting all this debris in. But there's our shrimp. We need to go through the gravel. I'm going to come back, I think, or once the wood is sunk and all this debris is sorted out, it's a bit clearer. Because look, there's still loads of algae on the substrate. So I can just take the substrate out and put some new stuff in if I wanted. I've got a bag of new substrate. But it'll get rid of all the beneficial bacteria. So that's kind of a last resort. I just hope that baby guppy's alright, because I just see it getting blown around. But I think as the plants are caught behind a bit of floating wood, it's alright for now. But the other guppies I have seen there at the back somewhere, so it should be alright. I'm going to tune you. Oh, there they are. I'm going to tune you back in probably about a day now, when this has all sorted itself out. So it's been many days, and there we are. So this is what we're working with. We've got our tank as clean as we're going to get it before we want to rescape. We've got some hardscape rocks. Ignore this, I don't know why that's there. Oh, let go. Yeah, so we've got these 3 rocks here. We've got some more rocks downstairs, but these are the only ones of this colour. And then we've got our spiderwood, and we've got this massive chunk of mapani wood that was downstairs, but we're rescaping the downstairs tank. So that's going to go in here, probably running along there. We've obviously got a lot of water lettuce, whatever this is. It's kind of made a comeback. We've got our guppies, so we can get a good picture of the male. There's our male. He's pretty cool, and I'm happy with it so far. It's getting clean, it's cleaning up. The substrate, you can see, is still quite dirty, but it's doing well. But we're only really going to achieve this by doing water changes and cleaning the substrate and stuff. So we're going to get started with the scape, and we're probably going to get some shrimp and another pleco, or pleco for up here, because we've got one downstairs, obviously, just to clean up this glass, could be a bit cleaner, that sort of thing. But the guppies are doing really well, and there's one baby in here. Let's see if we can find him. There he is. There's the baby guppy. You can't really see too well. There's the baby guppy chilling by the filter. He doesn't really show up too well, but he's in there. And that guppy was in here from before. It was just these 4 when we took out all the others. I'm sure you've seen him earlier actually in the video, but let's get on with the hardscape. So this is what I've got so far, and I quite like it, but I'm tempted to take out all the floating water lettuce at the moment, because it looks quite good. But I'm going to take it out, I'm going to put it in the bucket probably, and go downstairs, and there's a few more plants I want to put in, like gaps here at the front. Sorry about the sun, but there's gaps at the front and stuff. I want to fill in with some plants, get some greenery up in here, because it's quite a nice scape so far, and I'm quite happy with it, you know. The guppies look alright, the shrimp looks alright. He's a bit in shock, but he's not a bad shrimp, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to go grab some more plants and work on this a little bit more. So these are the things I brought with me. I've got a few different plants, like not too many, like 1 or 2. They're just a bit different, a bit of colour maybe, a bit of different sort of leaves, which would add a bit of texture almost. And then we've got some bits that submerge in the substrate like this. And these kind of just add a bit of greenery and shrubs to the bottom. So that should look good in those sort of areas and back there. And there is one other thing I'm going to try as well. So that'll be a bit of a surprise, but we'll get to it. So that's that then. Not much has changed. There's a little bit going on, but I'm going to join you back in a few days when it's all cleared up. But I think we need some corridors or something just for a few weeks, just to tip all this stuff out basically, because getting with the Gravac's going to be a bit difficult. The flow's good. The flow kind of goes round in a circular sort of motion, so it pulls all the dirt and debris, as you can see, and this should clean up in a few days. But yes, we need something to go through here. We need something to clean the glass, so that's the plan for a future video when we go to the fish store. So pick the camera back up in a few days. So then, in conclusion, it looks great. I'm really happy with it. I mean, it still could be a bit clean around here. We need a few more shrimp for this. We need a plug to clean the glass or some like auto sinkless or something like nice and small. Don't want to get too big, and if it does get big, it can go downstairs. So it's not the end of the world. But here are the guppies. Here are the 4. We've got the 4 females, and then there's the male with his cool tail. I think the scape was really made for some like really red platies or something, or maybe some mollies, but probably just platies or something. That would be really cool. We're going to stick with these guppies for a few months, see how they do. Ooh, I haven't seen the baby guppy that's in here yet, but you know, here we are. Here are the guppies. The ones downstairs are doing great as well, and we'll give you an update on them when we do the tank rescaping downstairs. But I'm really happy with this so far. We're keeping in all the floating plants, but it looks good. The filter's good. Oh, I have to remember the name of that, but it's good, and I definitely recommend it. The scape looks good. Needs a bit of cleaning, a lot of swimming space, a lot of hiding space, that sort of thing. So they're doing really well. They're a bit hungry right now, that's why they're all at the front, so I'll feed them. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next episode, next video. And I think that one is a pond video. We've got an issue we need to fix with that, so I'm going to get on to doing that.